Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Indicted TV. I'm your host, Negra. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. Quick shout out to my sponsors. Keep it hard, guys, ladies. Get it tingling. Also, if you don't want to be on my show and you want to stay home, make sure you hire Attorney Rosenberg. On today's episode, we have Esmeralda. Welcome to Indicted TV, Esmeralda.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course. No, thank you for willing to come on my channel.
Thank you.
Because girls are a little more harder to, break.
For real.
Because we keep it solid.
For real.
Yeah, we're harder to break. That's right. Well, all right. So let's start. Tell me where you're from, brothers, sisters, your mom. Where you grew up.
So I'm from Sonoma County. I'm from the Bay Area.
Okay. Shout out to the Bay.
For real. I live with my parents. No, I don't live with my parents. So I grew up with my parents. I have a little brother, a little sister. They're not so little no more, but I am the oldest out of all of them. I went to high school. I didn't finish. I ended up getting locked up.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. So you finished junior high. You finished elementary, junior high. At what age did you see yourself already getting in trouble? Or you get what I'm saying? Because obviously you're indicted. So something happened in your life where you started changing, or you started following a certain type of people.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Yeah.
So I think it was when I first started in high school. I kind of started smoking weed with the skaters. I was with the skaters. There's a skate park next to my high school, and I was a trans there because it was for culinary arts. So when you're a trans at not your district school, you need to carry a certain GPA. So I was a trans there. So I started smoking weed, and I ended up getting not kicked out, but just going back to my district school.
Got it.
So when I went to my district school of my city, it was I started seeing more people smoking. It was everybody would smoke. Y me llamaba la atención the ones that were all dressed like cholos,
You like the vibe.
But they were obviously there. They weren't we were young, they were super young. So it was it was.
No, it's what you liked.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. It's what you like. You a lot of times we don't know what the lifestyle is. We kind of just want to look like the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Not we, but a lot of people.
It was super structured at my house. It was I would always school, home.
You had your routine for your parents. Your parents had a routine for you and for your house.
They're super Mexican, strict. I used to do volleyball in middle school. It was always it was a super routine all the time. So to me, it was okay, in high school, you can ditch. I learned how to ditch. This was at my district school. So I ended up getting a boyfriend there, and he was to me he was boring. He had the look, right? So once I started hanging out with him, and where in other places, I started seeing more cholo looking guys that looked like real ones,
Yes.
And I was okay, well, he's young, and I started I kind of just left him, and I started hanging out with this other guy. So it was a whole he was from a whole nother school. I had met him buying weed with my homegirl or something, and I just started hanging out with this guy, and he was from Rio Gang, so it was to me it was whoa.
And what year was this?
This was in 2014, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 16. So,
okay.
And the guy that I had just met, he was 16.
So you guys were the same age.
So that I was what is that?
So you had no idea what that even was.
I had no idea what that was. And he's explaining to him. So I started hanging out with him, and he would pick me up from school, to ditch school. And it was a whole, it was just a whole nother vibe with me. My parents didn't know I would ditch school. I would be oh, la maestra no fue. Like
if you're not going to have what is it called? A substitute teacher.
Yeah, so I would be oh, no, yeah, this period wasn't there. Because it wouldn't be for, hella periods that I would,
Yeah, you would go half and then leave.
Yeah, so I would leave, and then I would come back so my parents could pick me up, right at school time, So, it was nothing a vibe off. And then I would sneak out at night. And they wouldn't know either. They would not,
And you were sneak out just to go hang out with this guy?
Yes. And it was just, it was bad, For me, it was,
No, you liked it.
Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah. And then I I just like ended up staying like there for, I don't know, it was just over, like it was me just being mesmerized, I want to say, like
So
over
you
that
you ran
lifestyle.
away, what you're saying.
Yeah, like I just didn't end up coming home. Like I think like we would go to his home, and it was like there was no rules there, like at my house, you know? So it was like, okay, I can smoke weed here, can be high here, you know? And it was
Yeah.
like his mom was chill and everything.
Most, most runaway teenage girls always run away. And they don't even look at it as running away. I'm just at a boyfriend's house. Like, run, like, well, it's, you run away.
No, yeah, my dad reported me
You
missing
run
and
away to
everything.
go be with a boy because you think it's going to be better. But we don't realize that we set ourselves up for failure because moving into a boy's house, you're going to be more trapped than the in your house.
No, for real.
So you ran away from home. You were at this boy's house, and your parents reported you as missing. How long were you gone for?
Just for 2 days, and then
Oh hell no, bitch!
no, but like I kept going back, like so, cause since he was a minor, they wouldn't do anything.
Because you guys are
about
both
it.
kids, yeah.
So they would just take me home, and they wouldn't do nothing because we weren't really doing anything bad, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're just at home.
yeah, and so I think he ended up going back to jail because he was on house arrest on probation, but not because of me or anything, because I wasn't.
Yeah, maybe for not going to school, for not doing what he's supposed to do on house arrest.
Yeah, so
Got
I kind of stopped like hanging out and stuff, and he got out, and it was just worse. Like I started kicking it with him, started doing harder drugs. Like it was just within like a split, like within like 4 months, I want to say. Like it just happened like so quick. Like I started from smoking weed like for, I want to say for like my whole freshman year. Like I was going back and forth, doing the whole ditching thing. And then like when he got out, like I guess I missed, I don't know what the hell. But like I just like said, fuck my parents and like.
I'm moving in.
Yeah. And his mom would tell me like, te va a arruinar la vida, mijo, like,
Uh-huh.
He's like, vete con tus papás. Because my dad, so he called the cops, I think, one more time. And then they didn't do nothing. Like, the cop basically told him, like, we can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time, like, she just... Like,
So what drugs did he introduce you to?
Basically all of them. Like, like, coke and meth, I want to say.
Okay.
Just, that's it. Not all of them.
I mean, it's
but-
not it, but that's
Yeah.
it. That's more
That
than
would do
enough.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was within, like, just 4 months. Like, it was,
You
like...
went down.
downhill. It was like bad, and like so we ended up like not being together anymore. Like,
But you were already addicted, kind of.
addicted to tweak, yeah. So it was like bad, and so
Don't worry, I get it.
yeah, and it was bad. It wasn't just like like sniffing. It was like smoking it.
Yeah, I smoked it for like 15 years, so I get it.
Yeah. So and then I was just kicking it with homegirls, and like I was just so dumb. Like I was still dumb over this person, right? And like I was still tweaking it to like go hang out like around. The people, like around the person. And we just ended up catching a case together. So like
What did you guys do? What did you get caught for? What is, your charges?
so we robbed a car. We robbed the Paisa. And it was and like they charged us with like a bunch of stuff because the guy got back in the car.
So
and we drove off with him.
Oh, wow. So you had like kidnapping,
Yeah.
robbery, GTA.
Yeah, but when there was a warrant out for my arrest, like I had no idea what it was for because like I had done,
Multiple.
Like, yeah, but he was already busted, and so was the other guy that was.
You're the other
in this-
crimey.
Yeah.
So it was 3 of you guys.
It was 4 of us. It was me, my homegirl, and then 2 guys.
Okay.
And yeah, my mom called me. So I was on a ramp. Like I was living at home, but I would come in and out.
Yeah,
the house,
you're a mess.
And my mom called me. She's all like, vinieron los narcos, like it was gang tasks, like like all the black cars.
Yeah.
And I was like, ¿quién? She's like, te andan buscando. Like I'm like, for
Ay.
what? Like she's like, aquí rompieron todo, like that. They like
Ay, pobre.
messed up the couches and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, like what could it be? Like I had no idea.
Yeah,
Like,
which one?
and I wasn't talking to this person anymore. So like I had like no idea to know like whatsoever where it was coming from. But the other guy that was locked up, he was talking to my homegirl.
Still.
Yeah, like we would call her from county and stuff. And he had told her like, hey, tell Esme, like it's bad, like it's bad. Like that's what he's saying, like she should know what's up. And I was like, and this was like 3 days prior my house got raided, and I was like, what? Like what is he? I was so smoked out. Like we're both smoked out. He's tripping off the fence. Like for what reason? And Yeah, my house got hit like 3 days later, my parents' house. And they like, I guess they took like clothes. So they took what I was wearing that day.
Oh,
I was wearing like
no.
some high boots and like they took the purse I was wearing. Like they took a bunch of stuff. Like they took like a box where I had like letters from other people, like from jail. And I had like 2 blue bandanas, and that's how I got my gang enhancement charge. Like, and like they just pinned like a bunch of stuff on me. Like I know I did do a crime, but it was like my first time being in handcuffs or anything. So to me it was like, I swore I was in juvenile hall getting out. Like, I'm gonna get out. Like every time I'd go to court, I'm like, I'll see
Okay,
y'all
so
later.
how did you get picked up?
So when my mom called me that there's a warrant for my arrest, I called my other. So I was like telling. I think I was with my homegirl that like my crimey, and she goes, I was like, said some like, oh my god. I'm like, he said
We'll
some,
blurb that. We'll beat that.
he said some weird stuff, like, you know, I'm like, do you think he was tripping or what? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, we need to get a hold of Whoopty Whoop, you know? And so we ended up, I think, writing a letter, and then like he called, and yeah, he told us. And it was like for like a week and a half I was on the run. Like there was a warrant out for my arrest. And I think in like the second day before I got busted, I had gotten a hotel. And that's where I messed up, because I wasn't staying in hotels the whole time until I got a hotel.
Under your name?
No, under my homegirl's mom's name, which she was on the run too with me.
Okay.
So we got hit up like at 3 a.m. by the cops. Like,
they're on you guys.
They're talking like, Esmeralda, like Vanessa, you know, we know they're in there. And like I remember I was like putting on my clothes, because it was 3 a.m. and I was like, I'm putting on my clothes. We're on top, like on the 3rd building, you know. And she's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to jail. And these was when they come in, they're gonna bust in, and they're gonna take us however they find us.
That's right. Yeah.
I was like, I'm putting clothes on, like which is cold out there.
Facts.
And then she was crying, and I was like, why are you crying? I was like, please stop. And then I remember I told her, man, I was like, take my phone. I was like, here, take it, because they're not going to take you, you know? I was like, here, just take it. And he wasn't trying to take it. And so I remember I locked myself in the bathroom, and I was deleting, like, a lot of stuff. And then I remember I wanted to smoke, like, and I started smoking, and then I had already heard them come in.
Ah, they caught you with the pipe in your hand.
I was in the bathroom locked, so I walked out.
Oh, at least it didn't shoot you or anything.
No.
You know?
No, they weren't, like, hella crazy like that, you know?
Well, thank God, because there really is some that just because you open the door, they're afraid, and that's their excuse.
Yeah, no,
shoot,
actually,
you know?
they didn't have guns out. They didn't.
Oh, shit. That was very nice.
I don't think they did. I think the girls had like a taser thing on them, but it was
because they probably knew that it was just you 2 girls, and maybe they knew there was no guns or something.
Yeah.
Well, you never know, which was good, right?
We weren't dangerous, right?
No, you weren't. Sure.
No.
Okay, so you get arrested from the hotel, Momo, whatever, and they take you to juvenile hall.
No, they took us to the sheriff department to interrogate us.
And that was your first time ever in handcuffs. How did you feel when that happened? Because
I didn't know that they get tighter if you move.
Oh, yours were super tight.
Yeah, because like I was like moving and stuff, and like I didn't know they get tighter as you move, and they like just end up like
Super tight.
staying tight. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God. And they like weren't like, I think they moved them like to the front where they like sat me. And I felt like I was in there for hours.
You
and
probably were.
I was, because when I came out, it was already daylight.
Yeah, you probably were there for hours.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So they're just in there interrogating us, asking us a bunch of questions. They actually showed us, because I was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I have no idea. And I really didn't have an idea of exactly what it was. And because where we had parked the car, it was still there. Like, we had parked it like 4 blocks away from like my homegirl's house. So when we would pass by, like, it was still there. Like, even till like, you know, when I had gotten busted, because that's where we would smoke at her house. So like when they started showing us, it was pictures of like where we had parked, and it was like pictures of like from another house. Like they had like security cameras.
So they went knocking at people's doors to get the footage.
And all they kept asking me, because there was like a 3rd guy in the picture. So it was like the people that they had busted already, but a 3rd guy. And they're like, who's that guy? You know, like they were just trying to ask us who the guy was. Like, I don't even know who the girls are. Like, what are you saying? Like, I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're getting booked in, like, in juvenile hall, like, this and that. And I was like, I was, like, on a sick one. So, like, I was like, oh, my God, what is happening? Like, I don't really care.
Like it is what it is.
Yeah. Because I already knew, like, so when I was on the run, I had kicked it with a homegirl that was in YA. And she was like, bro, like, what are you on the run for? I was like, dude, like, probably robbing, like, Paisa, you know, car, because that's what I used to do. Like, I used to just take cars. And then she's like, bro, like, that's GTA. I don't know what she said. She's like, yes, Grand Theft Auto. Like, you're going to go to YA. Like, she's like, I just got out, like, a year ago. Like, you're finna hit YA. And I'm like, bro, I never been in jail. Like, what are you saying? Like,
yeah.
I was like, they're looking for me. They probably just want to ask me questions, like, you know?
No, they ain't gonna ask you questions. They ain't gonna look for you just to ask you those questions.
Or, like, raid my mom's
Like, they're not gonna
house.
do all that to ask you questions. They already, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah. And so when I was like, all right, just get it over with, like, is this where I'm staying? Because it was, like, in a small room, you know? And I could see, like people coming, like, walking past. And I was like, what the like, what is going on? So I ended up going to juvenile hall. It was, like, morning already. And never been to juvenile hall. Never even drove in that way. So I was like, oh my God. It was far.
How was it when you walked in?
Well, first they put you in the booking area and they like take all your fingerprints and stuff, and then they give you clothes so you can shower there. So you
With
can
that cold ass
change.
water?
Yeah, and then so to me it was weird.
With your hair all hard, and it's just so
Yeah.
gross.
And then I've never had no one watch me obviously undress and do all that. So to me that was like the weird part. You know, I was like, oh my God, like
And
do
yeah,
I really have to do this right now?
Like, yeah, bitch, you do.
And I forget if they make you squat and cough.
They do.
In juvenile hall. Okay, so I thought that was weird.
I think they do. Yeah, I think they do that everywhere.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like they did it in visiting. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they do it.
Yeah.
At juvenile hall. So that was super weird. Yeah, no, getting into like the unit, it was nothing crazy over there. Like, you know, like
Just girls. Did you?
thought it was crazy, like the girls that would get booked in for prostituting.
You know what? I feel the same way. I never
That's
even knew prostitutes exist. I mean, obviously you hear really, really stories, but I didn't actually meet one until like I went to jail.
Yeah, and then there was only one when I got there, and then like obviously they started like they would like get more booked in, but they would
But
get
they were
let
young.
out. Yeah, and they would get let out.
They were really young prostitutes like that.
No, yeah, and then the one that I had it with was one from like the Bay Area, like from Richmond, and she was like in love with her like pimp, you know, and they even like started making us all go. Like they brought like a counselor in to talk about how prostitution wasn't right, and I was like. And she would like speak up to
Like she thought she was like the best thing ever.
yeah, she would like le daba la contraria a la señora, and I would like
She's
what?
definitely manipulated.
Yeah, I was like, man, like you guys are so like we're so young, like like that's to me that was crazy. You know?
I mean,
like,
it is crazy. I think it's sad. Mm-hmm. You know.
yeah, no, and there was like nothing crazy going on in juvenile hall.
So you adjusted. The girls you adjusted there, and the girls were okay with you. You didn't get in a fight.
No, I
or
didn't
anything.
fight in juvenile hall. I had a homegirl that I had already met like in the outs and stuff. So she was in there. So like I was cool with her.
Okay.
So it's like nothing.
How
crazy.
long did you fight your case for?
Like 4 or 5 months.
Okay. And your mom and your dad were there for you through the whole process.
Yeah, they got me a lawyer and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good for you. So what happened?
So I would go to court and they wouldn't care like that I was never in jail. I was like, my lawyer would try to like talk about placement or camp and stuff like that. And they're like, no, like I had just turned 17. And they're like, no, like they were actually trying to like take my case to adult. And like that was easy. I remember the lawyer like fought that fast, like, cause I had just turned 17. And then I was trying to fight my gang enhancement also. Cause I was like, it was 5 years. I don't know how it works. But
Yeah,
it was like 5
yeah,
years or
they do like
something.
5 years or something.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it did not work. They in court when I was like in trial, they would like post pictures. Like I had a picture with me and my homegirl, and like her man was throwing up like a gang sign in the middle of us, and like that's your hand. Like the DA would be like, that's your hand. I'm like, that's not my hand. Like I don't have man hands. And then like pulled out the 2 blue bandanas like out of that they had raided my house.
Like, bro, they sell bandanas everywhere.
I know, like I was like, I didn't have them like hung up in my room or nothing. Like
Yeah.
they were like wrapped up in the letters that I had, like, you know, that I had
Okay.
under my bed or something.
So you're from up north, but you had a blue bandana. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Well, I used to kick it with.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got sentenced to what?
5 years to life.
5 years to life,
Juvenile life.
which worked out for you. Honestly, probably not in your head, probably not, but in reality, it did, because let's just be real.
It did. It
If
changed
they would have
me.
charged you as an adult, you probably would have came home right away.
Really?
Yes, and you would have done the same shit. Because I mean, how many GTAs people do? Like, you just don't do that much time for stolen vehicles anymore.
True.
You get what I'm saying? You would have gotten home and you would have probably went even more down.
But even with the kidnap, like, because they had gave me other charges because the person got back in the car.
Okay.
So
okay.
that was what my lawyer says, that's why they weren't considering placement in
Got
camp
it.
for juvenile.
Because that's like extreme.
Yeah.
Oh, you never know. But I was still probably it was still probably the best thing for you as well, though, because they charged you as a juvenile and you probably got the juvenile life or whatever, and you were out before, you got the 5 years. If you would have probably charged as an adult, you probably would have gotten the whole years.
Right.
And you probably would have still been in there.
In prison, real prison.
I mean, YA is real prison, just for youth.
Yeah. No, I mean, I could have stretched it out till I was, 24?
Okay, so you got 5 years to life. Mm-hmm. And where did you go?
I went to Ventura Youth Authority. Yeah, on Oxnard.
Okay.
So I got sentenced, and I went back from court. Obviously, got sentenced, and everybody was like, "What'd you get sentenced to?" And I was like, I told them, they're like, "You're lying. Like, why do you look like that? It doesn't look like you care." And I'm like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I did what I did.
Yeah.
Like,
you accepted it.
And then she's like, "But you're going." Like, all my homegirls would be like, "You're going so far. Like, like for so long. Like, they swore I was gonna be there for 5 years." But the lawyer had already explained, like, like the whole YA system.
So when you got to YA, how was that for you?
Oh my God, I was so scared, dude, because
it's different.
Yeah, no, and then when I was because you were in juvenile hall, you're sentenced and you're waiting to get trans. So it's like, takes like a month to get, like, you don't know when you're going to get trans. So the staff would be like, it would me, they would be like, in juvenile hall, they would be like, yeah, like, they're gonna take your lunch, like, this and that, like, you're such a pretty girl, like, like, you're so, like, because I'm telling you, like, I wasn't not a fighter, like,
yeah, I get it, I know what
I
you
don't
mean.
have those vibes, so, like, I'd be like, stop, like, are they really like that? Like, yeah, like, so when you get out of YA and you're still juvenile, they send you back to juvenile hall to get released, or if you need to go to, like, on house arrest or whatever. They're like, yeah, the girls that come back have crazy stories, like,
they were messing with you.
And I was like, oh my God, like, stop, like, like, what are you guys seeing? I was like, oh my God, I was actually genuinely scared. I'm not gonna lie.
No, for sure, I believe it.
Never been juvenile hall, and now they're talking about like a juvenile prison, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I had never even but like my homegirl had like said like going to YA, and so I remember like once. I had got a hold of my other homegirl that was homegirls with my girl that had gone to YA. And so I was like, hey, like, tell Nina, like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, is it really like that? Like, And then I remember my homegirl Lala was like, oh, like, she said you're good, like, to ask for whoop-de-whoop, like, like, sad girl got you, like, she's good, like, she knows you. Like, she knows Karina,
Yeah.
She's still in there. And I'm like, oh, my God, she's still in there? Like, Karina got out, like, 2 years ago.
Wow.
Like, I'm never going to get out. And then, so I got trans with another girl that had gotten sentenced to YA from my county. So I was cool with her, like, like, we ended up, like, kind of being she's a white girl. So, like, we went on trans together all the way to YA, shackled. I think they stopped, like, one time at, like...
So were you on the bus for just you and her, or were there other people?
It wasn't a bus. It was our county taking us in one of their vans.
Okay, and it was just you two girls? Or was there boys as well?
No, it was just us two.
Okay.
And we stopped at one bathroom, like, at a gas station. I remember it was the worst. Like, I had to go to the bathroom. And
handcuffed.
Like, how? Shackled, too, like,
yeah,
from your feet. I was like, oh, my God. Like, so to me, that was even crazier still. Like, I had not been shackled ever. I had not been shackled. So I was like, what is this?
Pero querías andar de cabrona, ¿no?
For real. I was like, oh, my God, this is for real, like, in the stories. Or I had watched that one, Scared Straight. Where they, like, show you, how you get scared. Like, I had watched that a long time ago. I was like, oh, my God, it's for real, like this.
You were actually going through it. Mm-hmm. So you got there. What happened?
I got to YA, and they take you to the OHU, which is, like, the medical. The same thing, like, to take, all the tests, take you to the dentist. To me, the trip was that there's guys there in the medical. I was like, what? Like, they would come in, like, handcuffed and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, my God, there's guys here.
So that was, like, even more exciting for you guys.
I was shook. No, I was shook.
Okay.
Like, the fact that I was like, what is this place, Like,
yes.
Where did they bring me? And yeah, like, so there was like the COs were dressed like actual cops. So in the juvenile hall, they're not dressed like
They're just
cops.
the regular stuff.
Yeah, so they look like cops, like, you know, and I was like in green like suits, and I was like, oh my god, like, and they were like wearing like the big mace things, you know. So to me, it was like, oh my god, like I'm in prison, like I'm in prison. And it was so they take you in a little golf cart to your unit, and you're not handcuffed or anything anymore.
But you have to put your hands on a certain space when you're walking and when you're in movement, or no?
Yeah, you put your hands. Oh no, that's in juvenile hall. Yeah, in juvenile hall, you put your hands behind your back when you're in line and movement. No, not in. See, okay, and then that's when YA started being like, whoa, this is cool, because they didn't have all the rules that they did in juvenile hall. YA was like you could basically do whatever you want once you, like, you know,
Get comfortable. So tell me about your first day there.
They don't let you out.
You're in lockdown.
Yeah, so you have to program in your room. And yeah, they let you out the next day though, like for breakfast. Or I think it's a certain hour. Like,
and that's when you like see all the girls. And how was that for you?
Well, the homegirl had already came to my door.
Okay,
and
the sad girl lady.
She had already came to my door, and, you know, introduced herself, or like, you know, saying she knew the homegirl. And before that, there was another girl had walked to my door, and she was from my county. I had no idea who she was, like.
But she was like, okay, she's from a county, so let me look out for her.
But she would kick it with norteños, you know? Like, I didn't know this until I got out for breakfast.
Okay.
And that's when I was like, because she was like, oh, come sit with us, you know? And, like, that's what she had told me, you know? And, like, my other homegirl was like, I don't even think she was there for breakfast. Like, because, you know, like, some girls have work in the morning, you know?
Or some just don't get up.
Yeah, and I don't think she even was there. She had been in there for already, like, 4 or 5 years. Like, you know, so her program was, you know, probably different, you know? And so I didn't even end up sitting with this girl. Like, I think I ended up sitting, like, by myself or something. It was nothing crazy. Like, to me, it was crazy, like, the way they would act, like, or, like, how the nurse would come in and she'll be like, pill call, like, you know, like.
And other girls would be excited to go take their fucking pills.
Yeah, and I wouldn't take anything, obviously. So I was like, okay, so.
So what do you mean the girls? It was funny to you the way the girls act. Tell me more about that. Like, how did they act?
It was like, you know, like you were out, like if you were out, like they were, like some of them came out like already with full face makeup on. Like, remember there's this girl rapping on top of the table. Like,
hey, they living the best lives. Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do.
And I was like, put my tray down, miserable. Like, this is my first day here. Like, what is going on? Like, it was some nasty food.
How
like,
long did it take you for you to, like...
I think it's once I got, like, my program up. Because, like, even, so...
Oh, you got your hygiene, you got your clothes, and you got your stuff.
Yeah, and, like, I kind of got to know, like, everything, what was happening in there. Like, you know, like you get to go to school, you know. You get to do normal stuff, you know. Like, in juvenile hall, you go to school, but it's, like, in there.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the same unit.
Just in the day room.
But, yeah, I mean, YA, it's nothing crazy. I didn't fight.
Tell me let me see.
I wasn't into like the drama. Like, it wasn't, there was like girl drama, as in like when girls would have girlfriends. I had a girlfriend in there.
Ah, so you were gay for the stay.
A little bit, but it was more like, yeah, she was cool.
Well, that's how usually, like, there's in women prisons. It doesn't matter what prison, if it's like a YA or juvenile hall, that's usually what the drama is about. It's more about girls drama, like, oh, she's with this girl, like her, or like, don't be looking at my girl. That's the kind of drama there is in women prisons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so once it's like started bringing drama, like I was like, yeah, I'm good off you, girl. Like, and she was a prison number, so she ended up going to prison when she turned 18.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
You know, it wasn't like. And then I didn't like end up getting another girlfriend. I ended up talking to a guy in there, actually.
So you met a guy in there. Tell me how that, because you were there for 5 years, right?
No. I was there for only 3.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do my full term. I ended up doing good at the end and got my B phase and went up to board and.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you did 3 years. That's still 3 years, you know? You did everything that you were supposed to do. Did you used to work out?
Yeah, I would work out in my room. I wouldn't, like, they would go out to rec and play, like, basketball, and there was girls.
You kind of basically just stood to kept to yourself, which is the best thing.
Yeah.
So
Like there was homegirls that would be like, oh, like why you talk to that black girl, you know? And I'd be like, I don't know, like maybe up north we're not racist, you know, like we're not on that racist stuff. So it's like I had homegirls.
It doesn't matter, like unless it's like a different thing and you're like lifers and people, you know, it's like but I feel like in all women prisons, like you talk to everybody, unless you're just a mean ass person and you just like, bro, come the fuck down.
And then if you're a girl, like I feel like in the girl place, like they're not really about like you know, that
exactly stuff. So tell me about how did you meet this guy?
So I had a teacher that I was really cool with. Like she would bring me in like Bath and Body Works lotions. Like she's a Mexican lady. She was super cool. And I would call her mom, and she had like this teacher she had like a crush on, and I would call him dad, like just to be like, you know, like, oh, you guys are cute, you know. And I guess he had like a son that he would, because the guys would usually be with the guys, like the guy teachers, you know. And I would see the guy teacher sometimes like in the gym and stuff when we would go out to the gym. And he would be like, oh, you know, I have a son, you know, like, and I'm like, oh, what is, like, who is he, you know? So he kind of introduced me to him, you know, like, so we started talking through kites or like.
And you guys would pass the letters through the teacher?
Mm-hmm. Through the teacher or through the kitchen. So we both worked in the kitchen. So the girls worked in the kitchen in the afternoon and the guys worked in the kitchen in the morning. So like we would leave it under a pan.
Like you would tell each other where. Got it.
And then he would pass through since he worked in the morning, he would pass through like our unit and he would like whistle and he'd be like, hey, under wooty whoop, you know, in the by the dishwasher. So that's how it started.
And
I wouldn't see him though, like it wasn't like this close, like ever. Like so I would see him from afar.
So like, you were just writing this guy and you had no idea the way he looked.
For like I think it was for like a full like 7 months, like I would see him from afar. He would send me pictures, like he would take him visiting.
Oh, nice.
And it was one time I had sent him pictures. It was this one time I had sent him pictures of myself because I didn't really get visits because my parents were like super far. So I sent him pictures like of me street shot like before. Why did they like hit his room? Because like the guys, they were worse, you know, like they would like fight.
No, yeah, well, trust me, I know.
So I guess his room got raided and stuff like by one of the cops there, and he took all of my pictures and he came back and put them put them in my room, and with the write up
for you,
for a write up for me for sending pictures to one of the guys. And I remember my program dropped because if you get a write up, so it's like A, B, C phase and D phase. D phase is the lowest. And I think I was like B phase. And I think I went all the way to C. And I was like, oh my God, over pictures.
It's how it goes.
Yeah. So, yeah, we were just talking. And we started the chess team so we could kick it. Because that's like guys and girls would collide, you know? And I remember he had to get his face up in order to be in.
Oh, so he tried to do good just so he could get on that so you guys could chill together.
Yeah, it only lasted for like 2 weeks. He ended up fighting. But we went to like 2 chess games together, and that's when we like saw each other probably this close. Yeah,
were you super nervous?
I was. I didn't even remember how to play chess. I was like, huh, where does it go? But yeah.
Super awkward.
Yeah. And I wouldn't really see him. I kissed him like right before I left. In a classroom, like he used to, at the end, he was doing good, like before I was gonna get out, he was working like as the maintenance or the janitor, and so he would come into like the girl classrooms and clean, and like my homegirls are like, hey, Wuti is in the other classroom like with his dad, so like he knew what's up, like, you know. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna run in there and kiss him, and she goes, no, you're not, and I'm like, yeah, I am. So I went in there and I gave him a kiss and I left, and I didn't get in trouble or anything.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So you got out before him?
I got out a year before him.
So when you got out, because obviously you went to board and everything was good, you know, 3 years go by really fast. And so you got out, and what happened? Did you continue to write him?
So I got out and I had given like my mom's number and stuff because I didn't have a phone or anything. So I had given my mom's number, and he called like I was like, call me in like a week because you go to county after. Well, I was already over age, so I went to county, and I was in county for like 3-4 days. And
how was that experience from YA to county?
They're so mean. Like the staff. Oh, because the staff in YA are cool. Like they're not mean or anything. Like so. like they chop it up with you and stuff, you know. So like I remember I had asked like, oh, what time is it? Like when we had hit the pods in county, she's all like, look out your window and you'll know. And there was no window. I was like, what the rude ass bitch. I just asked you what time it was. Like, like, you know, trying to make conversation or nothing. And so I was like, brushed that whole county off. I was just like trying to sleep my way through it. I got there and like I knew like a couple girls that were like, but they were super smoked out. By this time I'm super sober, you know.
Yeah.
Like super sober. So I'm like, to me, I'm like, damn, like, y'all are fucking up, you know.
You saw how you looked before you got busted.
Yeah.
You think that helped you?
Hell yeah, dude. I would have kept. Well, I mean, when I first got to YA, I was tweaking in there. Like it was
okay.
Like, you know, there was tweak there, so it was like, you know.
You were still not giving.
Well, because when I was in junior high, I was sober, but I mean, so long sober, like for what, 4 or 5 months. That's not that sober. You know?
No, not at all.
And then you go back and take lines of whatever the hell they have in there, so it's like, you know. But I just stopped, like, and why it was like a, like, de repente, like, I just, like, it kind of just snapped, like, what are you doing? Like, you're doing in here? Like, my mentality was, like, I'm getting on one, like, what's the worst thing that can happen here? Like, I'm already in jail. I was like, if I have that mentality, I'm going to be stuck in here, like, all these, like, these other girls for, like, hella years.
Well, it's good that you thought like that, you know, when it clicked, because you would have gone way longer. Like, you would have gone from YA to prison.
No, there's girls that would catch like more cases in there. Like, it's crazy.
And it's all over dumb things, I feel like, especially for women.
Yeah,
like it's not that serious. Men is completely different. Like, you know, there's
getting punked on and stuff.
No, not men like that getting punked on, because men don't get punked like that. You're either writing or you're not. You get what I'm saying? But for women, it's like over lame shit.
Yeah, no, and to me it was crazy also that girls gangbang, like from over here in LA, like the girls that were all tatted up and like were gangbanging. I was like, oh my God, like, because over there you don't really see girls gangbanging over there.
I'm down for those vibes.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I was like, dude, God knew to not raise me in LA, because imagine.
You would have been all bad.
For real.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but yeah.
I'm down for those vibes. I mean, I just can't help it.
She was.
Nah, I've always been kind of smooth. I've always been chill, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when you're not out tatted, like, and then there's a homegirl that would come out tatted every time she would go on tip. Like, she would fight, and so they put her on lockdown for 3 days. She'd come out with a new tattoo.
And whack-ass tattoos, huh?
Dude, like, right here on her stomach. Like, never finish it. I was like, oh my God. That homegirl I think she ended up getting a prison number. Crazy.
Tell me, what was I know. You said hyenas. I feel so weird even using that word. I think it's, honestly, no offense to the ladies, but like, I think it's so ridiculous when women now, 2024, are trying to speak like they're all cholada out. Like, it's only okay if you're like 50 years old and up and you're a woman, because that's all how you spoke.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I think it's ridiculous. I cannot stand that. Like, I don't think it's cool.
Yeah, there was some girls in there that would be
no
like...
offense, ladies. I'm just saying.
There was girls in there that would be like, Simone.
Like
and
chill.
Stuff like that. I'd be like, oh. And you know what I would get shit for? Because I would say hella.
I mean, because you from up north, so it's kind of like a thing.
Why do you say hella? And I'm like, I don't know.
Like, people down here don't use that. Only
when
up
I would
north.
talk about my stories and I would say hotels or tellies, they'd be like, they're momos.
Yeah, definitely momos.
They're tellies to me, girl. I got busted at a telly. They're like, you got busted at a momo. I was like, okay. It's because momo sounds crazy. Like,
I mean, it is what it is, you know?
But a hotel telly. I mean, I guess.
Well, it's not a hotel. It's a fucking momo. Hotel's fucking 5-star hotel.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
You're right.
Like, you're at a fucking...
True.
You know?
Momo motel, yeah.
Yeah. Hotel is a hotel.
Yeah, a fucking Hilton.
Yeah. At the minimum, you know what I'm saying?
Real.
So tell me, I'm going to ask you this. Maybe it wasn't crazy for you, but what was the craziest thing you saw there? And it doesn't even mean like girls getting hit or like, you know, like, did you ever see like a CO try to push up on a girl? Like, tell me.
Always. There's weirdos all the time. Like, the COs.
You got these weird ass COs picking up on these minors.
Yeah, they were, like, when I first got there and I first started working in the kitchen, there was the kitchen staff like full on with a girl.
Perverts.
Full on with one of the girls.
Straight chomos.
Like, he was with her. Like, they were together. Everybody knew.
And she was a minor.
No, because And then,
Oh, because you're 18, you could be up to 25. Ah, okay,
so
okay,
in there,
okay.
she was one of the girls that had already been there for a long time.
Got it.
And yeah, I guess they got out and like they had a kid.
Oh, shit.
He ended up getting fired though for
I mean, I would hope so.
Not even for that though, for like bringing phones in for like the guys or some shit.
Ah,
but
that's pretty whack.
Yeah, he ended up going to county for a little bit. Like
That's funny.
Yeah.
Um,
But nothing really crazy. I saw this girl one time try to suffocate another girl with a bag.
oh my goodness, that is intense. I've never heard anybody say
She
that.
became a prison member so fast.
Well, yeah.
I think.
I wonder if it was over another girl. That's dumb.
No, like the girl was just like.
Not all there.
It was and it was like it was her homegirl. She was like, "You're my homegirl only."
Hey, girls are kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of things like I feel like girls worry about. Like, you have this girl that's like, I knew this whole time. And
yeah, and she would like, she was low-key, she was like the homegirl, you know, and she would like draw one the homegirl that she had choked, like, and homegirl was like a dyke, you know, like the one that she had tried to get choked, the one that got choked out was a dyke, you know. So like,
and the other girl, the girl that got choked her was a girly girl.
yeah, she was super young though.
She was obsessed with the girl with the boy one, and she probably didn't want to fuck with her.
I don't know what it was, dude. But no, she would draw another homegirl too. Like, it was to me it was more like she would look up to them, because they were gang members. That's how I feel like.
That shit doesn't feel right. That shit doesn't.
No,
that's some weirdo shit.
And she would draw her tattoos, like their tattoos, and then she would draw herself. Do they like tattoos?
Yeah, that's kind of like some weirdo shit.
Yeah, like all the way. Not she was in all the way there.
Yeah,
let's just say that.
So tell me, okay, so you got out. You got out of the camp from the county because you had to go there. You went home, and what happened?
I went home on house arrest. I was so scared of probation. I never been probation. I didn't want to go back to jail. They were saying like, oh, you can go back to jail for like
anything.
Yeah, because I still had 2 years left remaining on my time.
So you went home. You had to be on house arrest for 2 years?
No. So they had told me like you could be on house arrest for like a year. You know, they're like, you can do good. I'll get you off in 2 months. That's what my probation officer was telling me. And I was like, okay, like, you know, I was like scared, you know, just in general. Like, you're like, you can't have no contact with no one on probation, no one in jail. Mind you, I had a boyfriend in jail.
Yeah.
My boyfriend was back in Hawaii. I was like, what do you, like, not even my homegirls in Hawaii. That's what I was saying. Like, my homegirls in Hawaii, like, no, you cannot have contact with anybody. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I didn't want to get a phone at that moment. I was like, oh my God, like, this was like not playing. Like, I had never been on probation, so I didn't know how it went.
Yeah, of course.
So, and then they had made me register as a gang member, like, in like 24 hours. And so like that was weird, you know, like they went back, took all my fingerprints, my DNA, talking about you need to come back once a year until the 5 years are over. I don't know what they were saying, you know. So I was like, this is crazy. Like, y'all are tripping. Like, y'all are still making it seem like I'm a menace to society. Like, I'm not.
Like, you're bothered by that, too, and you're, like,
Yeah.
offended. But you are to them. Like, let's just be real. Like, in reality, on paper, you are.
Yeah.
You know, you just...
I was a ward of the system, so to them I was a menace
Exactly.
to society. So I got out. So I was talking to my man, like, you know, he would call me.
Oh, so you guys were still together.
Yeah, we were still together. Like, he would call me on my mom's phone. I ended up getting a phone, I think, like, a month later. I was on house arrest. So, like, my PO would pull up whenever. Like, he wouldn't call me.
No,
text me,
for sure.
You know? And he would pull up with gang tasks, like, other people. So, like, I remember I, like, blocked the 713 number because he would call me all the time. Because then why you can call whatever, you know, whenever you're programming. And so I would block the phone number.
In case.
And then I would delete all the calls. I had no pictures and nothing. I had no social media. So it was like, that's all I was like tripping on, you know? I wasn't kicking it or nothing. So it's like, yeah. So I was just working. I remember I would work at a movie theater. I was just working, getting money up so I can go to LA once my man got out.
So you guys were...
He kept fucking up though. Like, he was supposed to get out like 4 months after me. His phase.
So how long after did he get out?
Like a year.
So you were there for him the whole year?
Yeah, so I had graduated in YA high school. So like, I think like a year and a half before I got out of YA. So my graduation wasn't gonna be until I was already released, you know. So they had told the teacher I was cool with. She had told me like, hey, you know that you're allowed to come back like to walk your graduation.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, for real? Like, you know, I get to see Jacob and my mom.
All you cared about was Jacob.
And he could walk because he had graduated the same year prior to me, And she's like, yeah, like, like you guys can walk together, I was like,
Because she knew that you guys were still together.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I like made my parents drive me over here. And they're like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like, basically, in their head, I was still boy crazy, like, over someone that was in jail. So in their head, they were still like...
They were thinking, well, which is the truth. You just wanted to go just so you could see Jacob.
Yeah, so...
Like, it wasn't about, I'm going to go walk, because I...
Pa que me vean.
Exactly, because I'm proud, like, graduated, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no, they were not. They were like, otro.
Otro igual.
Otro pandillero, otro en la cárcel, peor lo encontró en la cárcel.
No, pues sí.
And
that's funny.
So they met him. They met his family because his family was there, obviously, too. So
wow.
it was like,
no, I mean, but to you, it's like, I mean, now you look back and it's still because are you still with him?
I am still with him. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And he's been a kid and everything.
That's so cool. And how long have both of you guys been out?
We've been out he's been out for like 3.5 years.
Good.
And I've been out for like almost 5 years. I'm gonna go to
Good for you. Good for you. Good for both of you guys.
Yes.
Do you guys want to meet Jacob, guys? Where's Jacob at? Hold on.
Go get Jacob.
Hi, you guys. This is Jacob. This is Esmeralda's husband. He's shy. We just wanted to bring him in so you guys could meet Jacob as well. He's actually the one that pumped her up to put her on Indicted TV. We appreciate you. He's a little shy. Come on in.
You don't want to ask him a story?
He doesn't want to say his story. He's shy. So, you can sit on him really quick. Yeah, it'll just be quick. So, you guys, inside jail love really does work. They've been together for a long time. What, like 5 years?
5 years in the out. No, well, 3 years in the out and 5 years together.
And it does work. And you guys help each other grow.
Yes.
Do you feel that you guys meeting each other in those what is the word I'm looking for? And yeah, when you meet somebody in those situations, do you think it made your relationship stronger?
I feel like it does. It makes us. I feel like once like we go through stuff, like we go back to like when we really wanted to be together in the outs.
What about you, Jacob? You're happy that she was down for you that 1 year, or what?
Yeah, definitely.
Jacob's shy, guys. Jacob is shy, so we're not gonna keep him that long. I wanted you guys to to meet him really quick and that you guys know that hey, if you meet somebody inside, it's okay. If you really want it, it will work.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make it work.
Because I'm sure it gets hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sure it gets hard. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming you guys do have those moments like, yeah, bitch, I fucking met you in fucking prison. Don't ever forget that shit.
Why'd you do that? Oh, you met me in jail.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens all the time, but you overcome those things and you guys make it work and you guys help each other not go back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like when you probably see him like, or you her, because it's vice versa. You were in there, like, okay, you're acting a little weird. Like, what? You all right or what? Like,
Need some counseling?
you kind of check each other, Yeah, like
Need a 30-day program.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes like it's funny because I do my show or whatever, and sometimes like I'll see my husband and I'm like, oh man, you're almost leva, fool. And I don't normally use those words, but
Ay, pobrecito.
like it's just this is a little example, just like because you almost dropped the soap or some shit, And I was like, damn, babe, good thing you caught it because you're about to get made leva, But it's how we work in our household. So maybe you guys go through the same thing and it kind of,
It's a fun experience.
Now that you're out, obviously, and you look back and you're like, wow, we really are making our relationship work, even though it started in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Is there anything, Esmeralda, that you would want to share, or you, Jacob, that you would want to share to somebody that might be in the same situation that you guys were?
Well, you just gotta know. You gotta trust your intuition feeling, all the time,
Hey, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's
If you
pretty
feel
much
like you really
it.
want it.
And if you feel like she's capping, dog, then just shake the spot,
Yeah.
For real, dog. And
So
her
Esmeralda
actions-
wasn't capping.
Nah, money commissary all the time, writing me big cards for my birthday,
Nice.
All the time, her parents came to my graduation.
I know, she just finished
Our
telling us that.
graduation.
Yeah, to our graduation,
Yeah, but you went just for him, huh?
Yeah, it was cool, you know. And then her parents helped us a lot when we got out, you know. Like,
Good.
like 85% of the reason we got some of the stuff we got, you know.
Dope. Yeah, shout out to her parents for always being there.
For
For
real,
real, they have been always
all the time. They look out for her, you know. They treat me good like I'm their kid sometimes, you know.
Well, it's good because you kind of are.
Yeah,
You know, as long as you probably, you know what it is. Most likely, you've been proving yourself.
Yeah, you know. They
Because
say
every
I
father
try,
wants
you know?
like, what's this fool's gonna do when he gets out? And
No,
you've been,
yeah.
you've been out, and you've
Yeah.
been
And there
proving
was a point
yourself.
we used to live with them too, so he used to see me go to work, you know, and see that
you're one of
I
do-
wasn't lazy at least. You know, to a
Yeah,
certain
you want to.
extent.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
You know, because I'm lazy and I don't do shit, you know. But to a certain
No,
extent.
trust me. Listen, I know I don't
Yeah.
stop all day, but according to my husband, I don't do shit all day. You know.
So, yeah, definitely.
Well,
But-
good. I'm really happy for you guys. I'm glad that you guys are both out. That you guys are still, you know, working on each other because you never stop working on each other. It's just, it's every day. Literally, every day is a different day, and every day is a day for tomorrow. If that makes sense, you know.
I wouldn't say we're perfect. We're just a relationship that's growing and learning, you know.
Yeah. Every day. No matter. If you're like 20 years, you're like, this fool's this and this. You know, he's still in the same shit. Or like, man, it's the same. You know, it's how it is no matter what. And that's the beautiful part about it, that the longer the years are, it's still the, you know, like, damn, fool, you're still doing this shit. Like, we accept
It's just
we
you.
accept each other for who we are. But if we sidetracking or like doing like, hey, fool, check yourself.
Shake the spot.
or shake the spot, you know. But I'm really happy. I'm really happy that I have both of you guys here. This is a little something new, guys. So if you guys want more of this kind of episodes, you guys better hit the DMs.
For real. She'll reply.
I will reply.
She does.
Yes, I will reply. Well, is there anything else that you would want to share that you haven't shared?
No, that would be it. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
No, of course, of course. Now, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.